Trigger warning for anyone who may have an eating disorder. If discussing diet and diet culture is triggering for you, maybe skip out on this video. Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about if intentional weight loss is diet culture, because this question has come up recently on my TikTok. I did post a video that got a lot of hate. I'm not gonna talk about that right now, but it did bring to light this question of if intentional weight loss, like trying to lose weight, is diet culture and is essentially a bad thing, a bad ideology, right? Because I had posted a video that caused someone to stitch my video and say that any sort of intentional weight loss is diet culture, and that I was basically, look at me already getting into the situation by accident. I'm sure it'll sort of come up throughout the video, but I don't want to use this video to explain it. Does that make sense? Because I've explained it already a million times. On my Patreon, link below to see all my internet drama. If you really want to know, I put all my internet drama on my Patreon because those people understand me. Anyways, so I had posted a video that included some very basic like calories in, calories out stuff, right? And this person had stitched and said that I had, along with other things that I had said in the video that they disagreed with, they said I had given people an eating disorder manual, and the conversation went to any kind of intentional weight loss is diet culture. And for me, I'm going to explain my viewpoint on the whole situation, because for me, I grew up as a dancer, right? You probably know that, hopefully. I grew up as a dancer. Right now, I dance, I choreograph, I also do yoga. And I like to go to the gym and lift. I haven't been going as much lately, but I know how to lift. You know what I'm saying? Like I squat, I deadlift, things like that, because I've always been, one foot in the fitness realm as well, because my mom used to be a personal trainer, my sister is a personal trainer, my brother played sport, like all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So for me, my relationship to my body is very intense and very close and very important, in the sense of my body is my instrument in a lot of ways, right? Like I use my body to work. And when you're using your body in a way that is more than just functional, when you're using it as a paintbrush, when you're using it as like you're trying to create certain literal shapes with your body, like the reason I can't fully get behind this ideology really ever, if I'm being honest, and I know this is something I can't really say more so on TikTok. TikTok is a little bit more vicious, I think, than YouTube. YouTube comments can be hateful, but they're from people without brains. Like most of the YouTube comments that I take seriously are nice, if that makes sense. Or they just seem to be like a little bit less critically online, I think is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say this here, even though I could not say this on TikTok, but like when I was in college for dance, I lost like almost 50 pounds, right? When I started college, I gained weight my freshman year, and then I lost weight the summer before my sophomore year. And like the thing is, I can't lie to you and pretend like me losing 50 pounds didn't make it easier for me to dance. I can't lie to you. And there's no way to make that sound not kind of bad, but it's like, was I better at dance when I lost weight? Yeah, I was. That doesn't sound good, but me living it was true. I could jump a lot higher. I could roll a lot faster. I was more efficient. I could do more things. I could fly because I grew up being a jumper, and then I gained weight. So I wasn't able to jump as high because that's how gravity works. You know what I'm saying? And when I lost the weight, I could do a lot more things, and I could go higher and I could go faster, and I had more stamina. And that is a fact. And the fact that when I made a video kind of talking about my experience with weight loss kind of being not too terrible for me, in the sense of like, yeah, there were periods where it was hard. My relationship with food was a little bit difficult, but I was able to get to the point where I could cut my calories without it affecting my mind so much. And like that honestly happened for me like a month ago, 2 months ago, because I gained weight again at the end of last year. At the end of 2021, I started to get a little bit bigger. In December, I noticed my pants weren't fitting, right? And the thing is, for me, I'm already a size, like I already wear a large size pant, or I'm like 14, 16. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's when I'm like my size now, even, which is, I've lost the weight since. I'm like a 14 probably. So when those pants don't fit, I can't find pants anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? And because I had gotten to the point where I know how to lose weight pretty efficiently without it messing with my mind too much, I was like, okay, I'm gonna reel it in a bit because I know that I can do it. And it will be easier for me to lose weight than it will be for me to deal with the logistics of not being able to find pants in regular stores. I said this on TikTok and I got eaten alive. You're saying that weight loss was more convenient for you, but then what if it's not? Okay, if it's not more convenient, my insinuation there was, if it's more convenient for you to do one thing, even if we are within the systems of oppression, even if we do live in a fatphobic society, right? You get to assess the oppressive structures and you get to decide what's most convenient for you to do, right? So for me, I knew that I could lose weight in not that long, and it wouldn't be too terrible for me mentally because I've done it before, and I wanted to find pants that fit me. And I don't think that's a crime, but apparently it is, to be honest. But yeah, so then I lost the weight. I started training with my sister. And again, like, I'm not saying this to, obviously, this is my channel, this is my experience, and I should be able to say my experience freely, and it's messed up right now that I'm like starting with all of these like, oh, just so you know, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just telling you what's happened in my life. This is my YouTube channel. I can treat it as a diary. I've just been made to feel really bad for literally talking about my own experience, and I understand why, but also I need to be able to speak about my life. And I understand that things may trigger people, and that's why I'll put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video. But my life experience cannot be silenced in the name of other people's things that they still need to deal with and unpack, and things that trigger them. I really cannot, and we need to draw a line there, because I need to be able to talk about my life. I really do. And I will put trigger warnings so that nobody is upset, but I need to be able to tell my story. Anyways, so yeah, I started training with my sister, and honestly, I have to tell you, it was like the easiest time I have ever lost weight. I cut out like sugar, and guys, if you cut out sugar and you cut out, like, I was drinking a lot of juice before. You know, juice is like, what is juice doing for you? It's not making you full, you know what I'm saying? And I was just drinking juice, lots of smoothies, and you know, there's time for that. I was also, you know, alcohol has calories, obviously, but I just cut that stuff out for 2 weeks, and I already saw a big difference. And then I just went, it probably took me about a month, and my pants fit again. Like, I swear, you know what I'm saying? It was not hard for me to do it, because I've done it probably 2 to 3, I think I've done it 2 times before that. This is probably my 3rd time cutting down. And that's not like, my weight hasn't been like super wishy-washy. It's like every year or 2, I'll go up maybe 15, 20, and then I'll reel it in. And it's just because I just get in like a funk or like a weird rhythm kind of thing sometimes, or sometimes you just don't know what you're eating or you don't know what you're drinking. That's literally it, and things change and your body changes, and that's okay. But for me, it's convenient for me to find pants, and it's convenient for me to feel physically efficient, the most efficient that I can be. It makes my work life easier. And if it didn't make your work life easier, then my path probably doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a dancer, if you don't paint with your body, if your body isn't your instrument and your tool and something that you work with all the time, then your experience with it and your relationship to it is going to be a lot different. right? And I'm never preaching for anybody to do what I'm doing. I never am, right? A lot of times people ask me for advice and things like that, and sometimes I want to be able to lean into that, but lately it's like, if one person is asking for this kind of advice, I feel hesitant because I know that a lot of other people will be triggered by it. And I do understand that, and I do think that's valid, and I do want to get into more unpacking like the socio-political diet culture thing right now. Because for me, here's the deal. When you think about diet culture, right? The term diet does literally just mean what you're eating. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fully explain this properly, but I kind of feel like all of these terms have been so they're so sensitive now to the point where they don't even mean what they mean anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the word diet is now very like taboo and we're anti-diet, but the word diet really does just physically mean what you're eating. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like I get the hype or the drama. I get it. However, it really doesn't actually have to be the way it is. Do you know what I'm saying? In the sense of, if we're thinking about diet culture as a whole, right? We're talking about the pressure to feel thin, yada yada, right? And we're saying, okay, any intentional weight loss is diet culture. Here's why I can't get with that. Because when you understand how you can, change your body composition, people also do intentionally gain weight, right? There is the calories in, calories out also goes towards, some people are naturally very, very skinny and they would like to put on more muscle. There's girls who naturally are super thin and they desire to put on muscle. Them understanding calories in, calories out can help them achieve that, right? It doesn't just have to go one way. And that's why I'm saying all of these things are tools. And when I used to be more into fitness, that was kind of how it was explained to me, in the sense of all of these things that have been weaponized specifically against women to make them seem smaller or to make them take up less space. These things aren't inherently bad. They've just been weaponized. Things like a scale, things like a tape measure, things like the word diet, things like knowing the science of how your body works. These are all technically tools that have been weaponized against women so much that a lot of women can't even see past the aggression of these tools. And they can't understand why anybody else might find them to be useful in any capacity, even though they can be useful if you're gaining weight, if you're trying to build muscle, if you're trying to get stronger, and you don't understand how to do that, you don't understand how to keep the muscle on your body. Understanding something like calories in, calories out could help you get there. But that's from a standpoint of somebody who is really, really into that kind of thing. And I understand how, if you're not into that kind of thing and you've been body shamed your whole life and there's other reasons why you can't lose weight, yada, 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 I can understand why you don't want to hear about this shit. I get that. And that is valid. But there's a difference between, I don't want to hear about that, and, okay, she can't talk about that anymore, and it's wrong when she talks about that, even though it's her own life and her own life experience. Do you understand? Your triggers, you can't then expect no one in the world to speak about things that trigger you because they trigger you, right? And obviously I can always do my best to be respectful, and I am. But something that was very mind-boggling to me is the fact that some of the language that I posted in one of the TikTok videos, I made a joke, and apparently the joke fell in line with some of the instructions on a pro-anorexic Tumblr in 2013. I don't know that, right? And you can't really expect me to know that. I apologize. I really do apologize. But it also, I don't know things like that. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody comes from their own unique experience, background, and everybody is really upset when other people don't put their background of experience first, in the sense of, when I'm speaking, I'm coming from my life experience, right? If I don't have the experience of scrolling on Pro Anna Tumblr, I'm not gonna know what was on Pro Anna Tumblr. But another thing, like, a lot of white women just don't get my humor in general, so I'm not too deep on that. But the other funny thing is just even in the conversations of people coming to me who were offended by that TikTok and are very like, any intentional weight loss is diet culture, and anytime you try and lose weight, it's bad and you're feeding into diet culture. It feels like a very critically online take, especially like even in the conversations that people had with me, people who were offended by the TikTok and people who don't like when I speak anything about any kind of body transformation. Like I also remember back in the day, or maybe not back in the day, but like a year ago or something, maybe 2 years ago, a girl that I used to be friends with, she posted something on Twitter saying, I never want to see like a before and after body transformation again. And I was like, that is what I'm talking about, in the sense of you have the right to do whatever you want with your body, and you do not need to lose weight. Nobody needs to lose weight. But if somebody is losing weight and they do feel better and they lost weight for whatever reason, it's not really anyone's place to tell them not to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it was interesting because, like, yeah, the people who were offended, in their conversations with me about why they were offended, like, one person was saying, well, it's probably because you've never lived in a marginalized body. Excuse me, I'm Black. Don't ever say that to me. Don't say that to me. Do you know what? And that's why I'm like, in your attempt to correct my infraction of not understanding the ways in which I may have fed into diet culture by talking about very standard science of body transformation, that person committed a greater infraction of not even seeing my identity at all, and then ignoring the fact that my body is marginalized. Maybe not in the way that yours is marginalized as a bigger bodied white woman, but in a different way. And you don't get to take that away from me because you're upset right now. Do you see what I'm saying? In the sense of everybody wants you to come from their background, but they won't even come to your background. Do you know what I'm saying? Did that make any sense? The other thing I genuinely feel is that if we were not in a fatphobic society, in a really messed up society with all these different rules and systems of oppression and dynamics, right? Power dynamics. In an ideal universe, you would be able to like make your body whatever you want, like whatever size you want, and none would be valued more than the other. Do you know what I'm saying? But to say you should never intentionally try to lose weight, just because you're not intentionally losing weight doesn't mean you're intentionally doing what you're doing. Yeah, does that kind of make sense? Like, just because you're not intentionally losing weight doesn't mean you're intentionally doing anything. You could still accidentally be doing a lot of things, and you just might not even be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be losing weight without knowing it. You could be gaining weight without knowing it. That's what I'm saying. These things are tools. And then with tools, you get to decide what you do with them. The stigma around it, it is there, but it's not necessary. And if you do have the ability to do things without stigma, I don't know. And I know that people still feel, they're like, you're still very deep in diet culture phase. I know that people will say that. It's just like, for my life, I like to be athletic. I like to do handstands. I like to be able to flip if I need to. And I like to just, I also just love to sweat. I love power yoga. I love all these things. I love to feel really strong. I love to lift weights. I love to see my body get more muscular and see the muscles and feel the change. I love that feeling. It's a powerful feeling when you see yourself get stronger, and just because of the nature of my work, I like what my body is now. I like what it can do. And I know that part of what got me there was my path with fitness, and I am not going to apologize for that. Because that would be ridiculous. Yeah, but I am curious to hear other people's comments down below. Do you think intentional weight loss is bad innately, or do you think that's kind of a chronically online take? Let me know down below. Okay, thanks for watching. I will talk to you next time. Bye.